Oh, yeah, we are live again for another one as the 9-seed Monstars move on to the next round as they will face the #1 overall seed, Ducked Off. A lot of common teammates here playing on from Shockwave, as well as a few other squads. Let's see what happens here. We are still waiting for results as that game went super quick, as you all saw, both teams getting on and off the field very quickly. But just so you know, the other games that are going on, the 5 and the 12 seed, Thunder Goats versus Mayhem on field 2. World's Okayest team versus Fuck Around and Find Out, 6 versus 11 on field 4. And Coast to Coast versus Chug Life right now on field 5. Waiting for those results to move on as the top 4 seeds are Ducked Off, Have a Nice Day at the 2, the Kickbacks 3, and Low Rollers 4. We're going to keep this thing moving here into the quarterfinals, Elite 8, as Keon gets set in and takes ball 1. Yeah, I got to stand too. It's fucking cold. Oh, I said that with the mic. Well, whatever. That one goes wide. Ball 2. It gets colder and colder here, as you've heard us mention before. And I'm sure you've seen some dirt roll through from the wind. As that one gets called for a strike, Keon thought he had a 2-base walk there to start off the game. And that's 2 bases as Keon hits. Believe that was encroachment that was called, giving him the 3rd ball. And that'll do it. Moving the runners along. So now Cabo coming up to the plate. Want to thank everybody for joining us here at the TNS Vegas Strong Tournament. This is your Elite 8 game. As Cabo lays a good bunt down third. Saw gets thrown out at 1, but that speed that Keon has takes him over to 3. 1 down and 1 run in scoring position as Blizzo, the blunt man himself, gets set. That one goes wide. Ball 1. Blizzo fouls that one off. Didn't like it. Would have been trouble for him too, as it would have stayed short. Blizzo, and a clean pick off the air. And that's 2 down. Hell of a dive there. So here we are, 2 down. Wait. Referees are conferring real quick. Encroachment called. Encroachment called on the pitcher again. 2nd batter in a row. So Blizzo back in the box. 2 balls on the count. And that's ball 3 as Blizzo takes the bag. An update for those wondering. Chug Life 9, Coast to Coast, an expected big team, goes down 9-6. That is right. Chug Life takes out Coast to Coast 9-6, and they will move on to the next round, facing off, I believe, against Hand. Have a nice day. Fly ball caught deep out there, and that's going to put Keon on 1-0 as Blizzo stays at 1. Not tempting anything, not falling for the fake throw. 1-0 Monstars. This game, I have a feeling, is going to be a close one as we continue on. Fly ball, deep foul ball. And it's going to take a minute for that one to come back in. He says with a bottle of wine in his hand. This expected to be one of the highlight games of the night. Monstars taking on. Ducked off as that deep fly ball gets caught. So 3 outs here in the top of the first inning, but damage done, door open as we are at 1-0. We'll be back in just a minute. We are set back with action. And as you can see, Blizzo now working with Keon on the charge. Blizzo taking over for Dot behind the plate after Dot was run into during the game against Not Today with a hand injury. 1-0 lead here. For those of you who didn't hear earlier, Chug Life knocks off Coast to Coast 9-6. The 10 seed over the 7 seed. Chug Life will move on to face Have a Nice Day, the overall 2 seed in the tournament, in another one of our Elite 8 games on one of our other fields. Still waiting on the score from Thunder Goats versus Mayhem and Watt versus Fafo. As here we go. Towns lays a clean bunt. Keon going to pick it up. A lot of speed, and the bobble there is going to cost the out. It was there in time. Keon with a hell of a throw. Not able to corral it, though, as she dropped to her knee for it and tried to pick it up. Unfortunately, not able to grab it. So Towns on here to start it off for Ducked Off. A lot of speed between these two teams. Going to be a fast-paced game, I have a feeling. As that one gets popped up, Blizzo going to take over it. The out, call safe. The safe call. Looked like the throw had beaten him at first. Kaya says safe. Over at 1. So runners advanced on the throw, 2-3. And an amazing bunt, and the bases are juiced here. So bases juiced here with no outs. As that one's in there for a strike. Ducked Off, giving up the least amount of runs today. So Martian's already on the board is a big thing for them coming out of the gate. As a deep fly ball, and it's going to drop in there. The wind holds it up. One's going to come across. A throw over to second. They're going to cut off the lead runner, and they're going to hold it. Time is called, and 2 runs come across. Your score now 2-1. Top of the first inning. Ducked Off over the Martians. Action happening here. Runners in scoring position again, and we are in the heart of the lineup for Ducked Off. As that one's a hard foul ball off onto the sidelines. Got to call for a 1 bounce. And my bad, got to remind myself, so used to seeing the Martians playing and a lot of these same players that are playing with the Monstars. Gets a little confusing sometimes. That one gets fouled off the post. That's 2. The Monstars down 2-1 here against Ducked Off. Big leg at the bat right now. As that was a deep fly ball, it's going to go into left center field. It's back, and it's a catch, a diving catch. He falls to the ground. The tag-ups are good. That's going to score 2 runs. You see that speed coming across the plate. That's 4 on the board now. 4-1. ducked off over Monstars. 2 outs here, bottom of the first inning. Just a reminder, our TNS Vegas Strong Tournament here, sponsored by Bang Energy, as that one comes across for a strike. That's right, Bang Energy, because if you're going to bang something in Vegas and not catch a venereal disease, the only thing you're pounding is an energy drink. Bang Energy. Fly ball, it's going to go over Cabo's head in the left field. They're going to keep the runner at first. Great kick there. As Swift comes into the box, getting ready for his at-bat. Your score still 4-1 here. As Swift fouls that one off. Tried to get under it. So 1 out now, 1 on. Swift fouls that one off, 0-2. Solid bunt down the third baseline. Cabo overplays it. So 1 on, runners at first and second. She fouls off that first pitch. 0-1 count here. Bunt right back to the pitcher. Blizzo gonna field it. Cabo with a clean field. Gonna get the out at 3 as he rolls over. A little bit of a tangle up there, but able to get the out. 2 down now. 2 down now is your score, 4-1, bottom 1. Line drive over everybody's head, and it's going to fall. They gave up on the ball, and that's going to be another one on the board here with 2 outs. Swift is going to cross the plate. Your score now, 5-1. And it's looking like a reverse game from their first eliminations game against Not Today. Monstars got to pull it together here if they're going to keep this going. And a fair ball on the first baseline, and that's going to do it for the inning. But the damage is done. Ducked off, coming out hard. And your score going into the top of 2, 5-1. We'll be right back. As we get set here for action. Second inning only, 5-1, ducked off over the Monstars. Don't count the Monstars out. A lot of talent, a lot of speed. Let's see what goes down. That one gets fouled off. 0-1 count. And that one goes wide. Ball 1. So 1-1 count. my sound and video engineer, Myron, telling me that we're getting a lot of love from everybody at home watching the feed. We appreciate you guys tuning in and making it our time worth it, doing our job all day. We have been here since 6 a.m., going strong now at 6:45 p.m., and we still got a couple hours of kickball left, and we'll be back tomorrow for the women's tournament. So stick around for all the great action here from the featured field. That one gets fouled off, and that's going to get the out. Out number one. Monstars trying to get something going here. Ducked off, looking strong. Monsters looked just as strong last game. They opened up pretty decent. Let's see if they can wake up the bat right now as Skeet steps in. That one's a one bounce. Skeet's last name also Skeet, so Skeet Skeet. All Skeet Skeet motherfuckers. All Skeet Skeet, goddamn. As that one gets fouled off, counts 1-1. Sideline starting to get turned up. Smell a lot of weed out there. A lot of Hennessy and a lot of wine going on. I think I was just offered a shot of Hennessy. I'm going to pass right now, but maybe during the finals. Chasing the rabbit, not just yet. And an amazing kick up to himself, pulling in Skeet's bunt. An encroachment called on the pitcher. Third time today, Skeet's going to get first base, and that is going to open up some action here in the top of the second inning for the Monstars. Hey, Cabo, tell him I'll do the Hennessy if he's got a little hypno with it. I need an Incredible Hulk in here. And we're back to the action. Dot still keeping those legs alive, even though that hand is jammed up from the last game. That one gets called for a strike. Double kick, foul ball. Dot, a lot of speed here. Let's see if they can get something going between him and Skeet. As that ball goes wide. Skeet over on one. No outs here. One out, sorry. Skeet over on one. Dot at the plate. As that ball goes wide. It's 2 balls. Dot bunts one down the third base line. They're going to go for the throw. And the throw was not in time. The slide was good. He slid a little over the bag, but got his toe down. And before anybody was able to pay attention, first base ref Kaya calls him safe. Runners on first and second. A lot of speed on those bases with 1 out here. And the Monstars have something going. Let's see if they can put some runs on the board and keep this game close here in the top of the second inning. As that one comes across first strike. Head ref Nay behind the plate. Kaya over at first. And a ground ball, but it's right down the third baseline. And he tags it, had time to make the throw, but slides and busts his ass a little bit. So 2 outs now. Runners on first and second still. Let's see if we can get some runs going as we hit the ladies coming up for the Monstars. That one comes across strike 1. And a pop-up easily fielded for the catcher. And that'll do it for this side of the inning. We head to the bottom of the second. Your score, 5-1 in our Elite 8 featured matchup. We'll be right back. You don't want to miss it. Stay tuned. And we're back with action. Quick action there, quicker than we were to get off the commercial break. Runner on now as Dot back behind the plate, seeing if he can get some action and seeing if that hand will hold up. So result just coming in, Thunder Goats able to pull out the victory over Mayhem 3-2, and they will move on and face the Low Rollers. As that ball comes across for a strike. That one called a strike as well. And there's some jaw in there, not happy about it. And a deep fly ball. It's going back. It's going back. And it drops. Runner's coming across. Is the relay going to be in time? And a lot of jawing coming off of ducked off. Wow. One run across there, so your score now 6-1 here in the bottom of the second inning. Man, what a deep kick, and almost had the hands on it. Dot stays with it, able to use his speed and doing a snow angel out there for the crowd. The run comes across, but Dot gets the out. So your score now 7-1. One down here. And that one's in there for a strike. The temperature and wind. Wind has died down once the sun went down, but the temperature is not been friendly. As the bunt goes right back, Keon able to clean pick it, and that's going to be 2 down. So we're still missing one final score from our first round of elimination games. World's Okayest team versus Fuck Around and Find Out. The winner of that one will move on to play the Kickbacks, who are a 3 seed. And we are here in our feature field, the 1 versus the 9 seed. 1 seed Ducked Off versus 9 seed Monstars. And takes the auto out there. So we head to the bottom of the second, or no, bottom of the third rather. Your score, 7-1. We'll be right back. We're back setting up here with the action. Monstars trying to get hype again here. Rolling flat right now. And Ducked Off up 7-1 here. We're here in the top of the third. 7-1 your score. Ducked Off beating the Monstars. As that one gets fouled off, jammed him up. And a line drive over the second base's head, and can't bring it down. That's going to be good for the single. Monstars getting something going here in the top of the third inning. 1 on, no out. And here come the ladies. Make no mistake, the ladies can make it happen with this squad. As that one gets in there for a strike, she lets it go by. She bunts that one. It's going to be foul. 0-2 count now. And we have a final score finally from our other first round of eliminations. Fafo 2, World's OK's team 1. So Fafo moving on for the kickboxes. We see a bunt there to the Charger. Going to get called out over at 1, holding the runner at 2. So right now, your 4 featured games here on the featured field, the 1 seed versus the 9 seed, Ducked Off versus Monstars. The 4 seed Low Rollers taking on the 5 seed Thunder Goats over on field 2. Field 4, where you have the 3 seed Kickbacks taking on the 11 seed Fafo, and Chug Life, the 10 seed, taking on the 2 seed Have a Nice Day over in field 5, which you can see out in the distance in center field at that other field. We will see what goes on here as we are in the top of the third, 7-1, as that one gets fouled off. A lot of speed taking off on second base. And that bunt goes foul. An encroachment called on the catcher. So another shot at that one. The Monstars trying to get something going here. A lot of encroachment calls have gone down on Ducked Off. Their speed and their power have definitely carried them in this game. And that one goes wide for a ball. So full count, 2-2, must be. Let's see what happens here with the action at our feature field. She bunts that one down the third baseline. Clean throw. It's going to be missed for a safe, and a run's going to come across as she advances over to second. They tag her in the shoulder. She is nailed out. Hold on. They had already called time, so they hold her at second base, but a run across, so your score is 7-2, Ducked Off, still up here. Head ref Nay has already called time out before she had rounded based on the overthrow, hitting one of the spectators on the first baseline. So it's an interference, and so it stays as is. No out, even though they beamed her in the shoulder. 7-2 here, runner on first. And that comes across for a strike. And here come the ladies of the Monstars trying to get something going. That one's a bunt down the third baseline. Catcher's going to grab it, and it's going to be an easy throw over to 1. She's going to take the run, and they're going to mishandle the ball down the third base line. And she's going to slide in there safely. So 60 feet away from another run on the board. What?
I don't even see her now.
So Nate calls time. J Will running over here. Quick question. We're in a hold right now. We're going to give you some hold music as they hit the mound, and a little conference is happening between the refs. And we're back to the action here. After a little break there as the referees had a conference about what was going on. A lot of encroachment calls have been called on the pitcher today, and he has not been happy about it. As she leaves a 2-foot bunt. Can't get prettier than that. Oh, Nay saying that that was a foul ball. Nay saying double kick. What do you folks think at home? Feel free to comment on that one. So let's see. Pitcher yelling, got her ass, and it goes wide. She bunts. Catcher's going to bobble it a little bit. So no run comes in. That's 3 outs. And ducked off. Trying to calm down their team. Getting a little extra hype out there. Seeing what they can do to relax as they are up here 7-1 as we go into the bottom of the 3rd inning. We get back to the action. Towns up at the plate. Sorry if the camera's wobbling a little bit. We're trying to adjust the angle for you as the ball goes foul. Ball has hit the fence a few times and the camera's right behind it, so it's shaking it loose a little bit. We're trying to keep the cleanest view possible. I see we're adjusted on that first baseline. That one comes across first strike. Towns looking at Nay, not liking that call. Towns puts one out there. And Keon gonna get that out at first base with that lightning throw. So one down here. And an argument going on here as the referees have a conference once again in this game. A lot of jawing has led to a lot of timeouts. And we're going to take a quick break as well. get back to the action. Nope, and a conference continues. Towns not happy with the calls over at first base, saying that they haven't given him a call yet. Coed, known as one of the most dependable refs in the nation. Long history with circuit as well. That one goes back towards the pitcher. Quick throw over, and that's going to be called safe. They're going to say the speed beat the throw in a bang-bang play. So the adjustments here being made by the Monstars, trying to keep this game in reach still. That one gets fouled off. And a low throw called safe. A bullet thrown over to third base. And the runner's going to pull in there safe. So safe at 2 and 3 now. Monstars having a little bit of communication issues, it sounds like, as they're yelling at each other, talk to each other. Keon fading back to the outfield with an expected boot coming from ducked off. Let's see what goes down. And a weird squib kick that is brought in there by the first base. And the runners get held. 2 down now. And an unfortunate kick for ducked off. Fortunate for the Monstars. Trying to hold on to this one. That one goes wide. Ball 1. That one gets in there for a strike. 1-1 count here. 2 down on our featured field. Bottom of the third. 7-1 still. 2 balls, 1 strike here is the count. Runners at second and third. And that one's a deep fly ball. It's going back. It's going back. And she... and falls down in the outfield, but makes the catch. And we're going to take a quick timeout as it looks like there was an injury. She dove for the ball and made the catch, but she's injured out there. We're going to take a break while they tend to their team. In respect to the Monstars, we'll be right back. And we're back to the action. They had switched players around. He had caught it out there, but fell flat on his back. Got the wind knocked out of him. Score 7-2 now as we head into the top of the 4th inning. One bounce there, ball 1. Monstars trying to get something going here. As we have our first result from the Elite 8. Kickbacks 10, FAFO 0. You heard that right. Kickbacks 10, FAFO 0. The only other team to not lose a game other than ducked off today. And have a nice day. I left them out. My apologies. Kickbacks 10-0 over Fafo. So the Kickbacks will move on to the semifinals. And I believe they will be on the other field against the winners of Have a Nice Day and Chug Life. And a great defensive play there by Ducked Off as we start getting results in from the other field. So a mercy rule happening in the quarterfinals. And let's see what we get going on here. As your score 7-2 here in the top of the fourth. Playing 6 here. As we are in the elims. Temperature back down to 49 degrees for those of you who are asking at home. The breeze has stopped now that the sun went down, but we are dropping temperature quick, down to 49 degrees. Low is down to 34 tonight. So this is just going to get colder and colder as we've seen some pretty bad injuries today. Nothing gruesome, couple knee tweaks, couple of hand jams, and of course those cold muscles not helping at all on the bones either. Popped back up right to the catcher. One down. Towns going wild on the sideline. You'll see him going crazy tomorrow as he coaches No Smoke, defending national women's champions. Cabo trying to get it going here. As that goes by, strike one. Keon not really happy about that one. Shaking it off, though, as he always will. Cabo trying to get it going now. Cabo puts good bunt down the third base line, but it goes just foul. We're here in the broadcast booth, literally sitting on our hands to try to keep warm. It is absolutely ridiculously cold. And Cabo puts her down the first baseline. They weren't expecting it. And he's going to get there as it gets bobbled a little bit before the catch is reeled in. Cabo safe at one. And here comes Blizzo, the blunt man himself. Trying to pick up that speed right behind his hazard brethren. Cabo, as you see Towns on the sideline, directing his team on the adjustments based on what he knows these guys can do. Played against each other many times, played together a few as well. Let's see what Blizzo's got in the tank. As he bunts one down the third base line, it's going to get clean fielded, and it's going to be called out. It's going to be called out for 3 outs here in the top as we head to the bottom of the fourth inning. Your score remains 7-2, and we'll be back in about 30 seconds. And we're back with action here. Bottom of the fourth. Still 7-2. As that one gets called for a strike. Yes, Daryl, it is only the fourth. That's our sentiments exactly as we freeze out here in the desert in Vegas. That one's called for a strike as well. 1-2 count. Keon not make the throw, hesitated a minute, bounces off her hands. And the robot making his way down the first base line. A lot of fun, but a lot of trash talk between these two teams. Been an interesting game so far. As that one gets bunted. And a miss. And the runner jumped off first base early. Red gets called out for leaving early. So Casey called out for jumping off first base early, trying to advance to second. Caught by the referees. So one down here. As Swift sets in, that one goes wide, ball one. Monstars trying to keep their playoffs here alive. Bunt back to Keon. Keon with a clean throw. And a safe call. And a quick challenge. Looked like it was a good throw from here, and it looked like it was out. What do you think at home? As that one gets called for a double kick. So called safe at one. Play stands as the kicker gets clarified on the count. A lot of chitter chatter. As that one goes back to Keon. Keon going to make the throw, and it's a clean throw to first, and that's going to be out. Time called. Runner stays at 3. So runner 60 foot away from putting another one on the board for ducked off. As B-Rad steps into the box, 2 away here. That one goes just outside. Ball one. We want to thank all 140 and change of you for tuning in here for the TNS Vegas Strong Coed Kickball Tournament. We're in the Elite 8 right now. Only team so far to advance is the Kickbacks, who went 10-0 against Fuck Around and Find Out. As B-Rad sets in. Now it gets punted in between the pitcher and first base. They're going to clean field it, and that's going to be out number 3, so no damage done there. The score remains 7-2, and we head in to the top of 5. We'll be right back with more action for you. Stay tuned. So head ref Nate declaring 5 minutes left on the clock, which means that this will end up being the last inning. Monstars got to get something going here. Down 7-2, so chasing 5 to keep this going. Ooh, close call there.
Rashard, safe though. Look. No, I'm just talking shit.
So a safe call, oh no, an out call there on a close throw. One down here. And a fly ball trying to let one rip here. And a hands catch in center field, 2 down. With 5 minutes left on the clock. The door might be closing. Monstars got to get something going here if they are going to stay in this. That one goes wide. Ball 1. 2 outs here in the top of the 5th inning. Time on the clock. Quickly running out on the Monstars' hopes in advancing here. Down 7-2. Called a foul ball. As you saw, a crazy spinner there. Bunted. Looked like he was just in front of the plate, I believe, when ball made contact. That one goes across for the strike. That's 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. As you see the pitcher from Ducked Off getting loud there, thinking that he had struck somebody out to end this game. That one goes wide. So you got a full count here, 2-2.
Stopping the time, Nate. You want stopping that? You couldn't. There's no way. If it's 5 minutes left, no way you stopping that time, bro.
And that one goes wide. So ball 3 takes the walk. That one in there for a strike. So Monstars keeping their hopes alive right now. Runner on first. 2 outs here in the top of the 5th inning. Clock might get called on this game. As that one goes wide for a ball. That one pops up. It falls to the ground. The throw is not going to get there in time. And the runners get held at 2nd and 3rd. Monstars still alive here. Top of the 5th inning. Down 7-2. Still 7-2. Head ref Nate calls time. So runners at 2nd and 3rd. Nate called time. So holding there. And the referees conferring here. So we're still here, top of the 5. Runners in scoring position on 2 and 3. And who better but the ever so speedy Dot coming up to the plate. Dot, known for his speed and known for his bunting, but can definitely put one into that outfield. Let's see if that's what he does to move these runners. Runners are in shallow in right center and in right field. A lot of space out there for them to work with. Let's see if he adjusts here. Makes the kick instead. As he lets that one go by for a strike. Dot lets that one go by for a ball. So a conference going on real quick. Between the referees. Conference real quick. A lot of jawing has been going on. A lot of friends between these two teams, but a lot of enemies right now for this hour. A lot of jawing was going on, and the referees called time just to get everybody in check and tell them, chill out. Game is on the line here as Dot sets in. Strike called. That second bounce was close, but it was right in front of the paint. So ball game gets called on a strikeout. Dot absolutely furious at that call, but it looked like it had dropped in right in front of the plate for that second bounce. So your final score here, 7-2, ducked off. The 1 seed moves on to the semifinals and will be here on the featured field for one more. We'll be back in a little bit. Stay tuned. On behalf of Myron, our sound engineer, and myself, Adam Hustler, your host with the most, that voice that makes you moist. We'll see you in a little bit.